A tough lesson from history. It is very important that we learn from history, especially those in political power should learn from history. During the Second World War, there was a propaganda minister, or whom you will call information minister, of Hitler. Hitler was the one that started the Second World War. Then appointed Joseph Goebbels was his minister of information, who used his oratory and power of the spoken words to sell the ideas of Hitler, ideas of anti-Semitism, racism, wickedness, and murder that he was hatching for the entire world, especially against non-Aryan people. Joseph Goebbels was information minister and used that office, to the best of his ability, thinking he was doing right, but he was actually committing evil against the entire world by propagating Hitler's idea and ideology, just like some ministers of governments are doing. This message is particularly for them, ministers of information. When you know that a regime is not doing the right thing, it is wrong for you to propagate error. It is wrong for you to say that what they are doing is right, just because you are saying that is my office. It is my office to be the spoken minister. Spoken minister, my foot. Are you to speak what is right or what is wrong? Many information ministers are like Joseph Goebbels in this respect because they refuse to resign. The honorable thing to do as a minister of information is, when a government is becoming stubborn and not willing to do the right thing, is for that minister of information to honorably resign. If I were in your shoes, I would gladly resign from any government that has refused to have a human sympathy or a human face. I resign. Any government that does not represent truth, equality, equity, and justice is not worth it. It is an evil thing for you to remain there. And even to add salt to injury, you are propagating their error and defending them. You see, you are preparing yourself to be judged by posterity. I'm speaking as a matter of history. Joseph Goebbels did all his propaganda warfare for years, right from when he was appointed in the 1930s till the Second World War started. He kept on defending Hitler's wickedness, his murder, and his nefarious plan to annihilate the world. He didn't resign. But guess what? History will never judge any of you fairly when you know that this is wrong and you still continue to propagate it. A government is not right. You continue to defend them and speak in the media for their defense. Prosperity will not spare you. History will not equally spare you. Let me give you the shocker. In 1945, when Russian Red Army eventually fought through to take over Germany, Joseph Goebbels became very afraid of his life. He was afraid that he would be captured and be dealt with. Yes, you see, these people who have loud mouth in the media defending a failed government, they are the most afraid of death. He was afraid that the Russian Red Army would capture him. Do you know what he did? According to history, he gathered his family, I think 6 children or so, and his wife and himself in the bunker where Hitler hid himself, and he poisoned his children. All of them, he poisoned them to death. And he poisoned his wife to death, then poisoned himself to death. All of them died from that poison. Why? He doesn't want to face the reality of his action. Hitler also poisoned himself to death. You see, those who claim to be tyrannical, they are the ones who fear death mostly. Oh my God. History is good. You see this history book here? Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. This is real life story and lessons of life to learn. It's good for students, for political leaders, for those in any sphere of leadership. Please get it. A lesson of life. You see how he died? Joseph Goebbels, propaganda minister of information, that will not resign when he knows a government is tyrannical, when he knows a government is not doing the right thing. He's still speaking in the media to defend them. Did you see how he dies? Posterity could not spare him. History could not spare him. He died a miserable death. And that's a lesson to learn. Please, my final advice is this. If you are serving a government and the government is not serving the people, if you have a conscience, the right thing to do is to resign as an information minister. Please learn from Joseph Goebbels. You resign. You technically resign. You might say, okay, Joseph Goebbels could not resign, but there are technical ways in which he could resign. You step aside, because if you don't, when posterity come judging, when on the payday, you will not be spared. And the bitter thing is that your own children, your own grandchildren will not equally spare you, because they will look at you that our dad was one of those who spoiled this nation. And that's where I rest my case. Thank you.